Everybody thinks Bethany Beach is just a summer town. Cute little boardwalk, ice cream cone, a few weeks of chaos in July, and then poof, it goes quiet and rolls up the sidewalks until Memorial Day next year. Honestly, that is the biggest myth I hear from people thinking about relocating to Bethany Beach, Delaware. And it is costing them the chance to actually live here full time because they never get past the postcard version in their head. Close your eyes, you can see that postcard. So if you're Googling things like Bethany Beach retirement, Bethany Beach cost of living, or is Bethany Beach a good place to retire at 11 o'clock at night with a glass of wine in your hand, no judgment. I've seen the analytics. Stick around. I'm about to give you the 5 things nobody tells you before you make this move. Some of it is going to surprise you. Some of it might even talk you out of it. And honestly, that's okay too. My job isn't to sell you a beach house. It's to make sure you buy the right one or don't buy it all. And I am really, really serious about it. So let's get into it. Here we come, Bethany Beach. Must know number 1, what it actually costs you to live in Bethany Beach right now. 2026, maybe this will transcend into 2027. So I've been selling real estate here in Coastal Delaware for quite some time. And Bethany Beach is one of the towns I get asked about nearly the most, especially from people coming out of DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, and even beyond. So let's start with the number everyone actually opened this video for, the price tag. Tell me the price tag, Debbie. So according to Redfin, the median sale price in Bethany Beach right now is around $700,000 plus. Okay, it's actually down just a little hair from a year ago. And the reason for that is because on the other side of coastal, prices are really coming down a little bit. But if you get getting excited and start thinking the prices are crashing, I've told you before, they are not. Is the market backing off from that red hot run? Absolutely. But we are not falling out of the sky. Other data is going to show you that the median price is really into the 7 figures. And here's why that gap exists. Okay, list price and actual selling price are 2 very different animals. So the Redfin price skews to the other side of Route 1, whereas the other data at 7 figures is obviously on the beach side. So the homes that are actually closing and the ones that real buyers are winning are coming closer to that Redfin number. So when you see wildly different price numbers online and think someone is lying to you, they're not lying. They're just looking at 2 different data points, one side of Route 1 and the other side of Route 1. Bethany Beach proper, right in town, walking distance to the boardwalk, that is your premium price point, full stop. And it's something I tell almost on every single call. You do not have to buy directly in town to live the Bethany lifestyle. Debbie doesn't, and she lives the Bethany lifestyle. A few miles out, Ocean View, Millville, Frankfurt, really, and that stretches beyond. So whether you're 10, 15 minutes from the same beach, the same boardwalk, and the same ice cream cone. Okay, so the must-know number 1 is simply this. Bethany Beach is not one price point. It's a whole range. Your job isn't finding the price. Your job is figuring out how close to the sand you actually need to be versus how close you just want to be. I wanted to be on the beach. I wanted to be toes in the sand in mere minutes, but I love where I live and I enjoy it all. Must know number 2, the weather nobody warns you about, or in this case, brags about, shouts about. Let's talk about the thing that honestly sells the area harder than any spreadsheet ever could, the weather. This is where Coastal Delaware really separates itself from other retirement markets people compare us to, like Florida or coastal Georgia. Okay? We still have seasons. We still have 4 of them, real ones. You get a golden fall. You get a proper winter with a few snow days sprinkled in. You get a legitimate excuse to stay in and watch the water. And then spring rolls in early compared to up north. It's not a one-note climate. It's a whole album. And you get to enjoy it all. But here's the part people fall in love with once they actually live it. We do not get the extremes. No hurricane season. 1936, the last time a hurricane hit Delaware coast. No bone-cracking cold like New England. No triple-digit summers baking the pavement into oblivion for months on end. So if you're the kind of person who wants to be outside, walking, biking, kayaking, playing pickleball, or just sitting on a porch with your coffee, Bethany Beach gives you close to, I say, 11 11.5 months a year where the weather actually lets you do that comfortably. That is not marketing fluff. That's just what living here full-time genuinely feels like. People come down expecting a beach town that shuts off in September, and instead they find golf courses open well into December, sometimes beyond, trails full of walkers in November, and neighbors out gardening on a sunny February afternoon in a fleece vest, completely unbothered. So must-know number 2 is that the climate here isn't a bonus feature you get for free with the house. For a lot of my retirees and empty nesters and even investor clients, it's actually the number one reason they end up choosing Bethany Beach over every other place they looked. Okay? Must know number 3, the seasonal reality, because I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You know what I'm going to say? Let's be honest for a second, because I promised you I would not sell you a fantasy, and I meant it. Summer in Bethany Beach is a different animal entirely. Route 1 gets busy, really busy. If you need to run to the grocery store on a July Saturday afternoon, you're going to feel it in your soul. Parking downtown gets tight. Restaurants have waits, and the population of this whole stretch of Sussex County genuinely multiplies for about 10 to 12 weeks a year. It is a lot. I'll say it again. It is a lot. But here's the thing though, and this is something I've personally clocked living here full-time myself, that summer surge is exactly what keeps this area thriving for the other 40 weeks of the year. It supports the restaurants, the shops, the healthcare access, all of it. And honestly, most of my full-time residents figure it out. They figure out that rhythm. You learn to shop on a Tuesday morning instead of a Saturday at noon. You learn which back roads dodge the worst of the Route 1 backups. You know, like you're in a low-stakes video game. It becomes second nature. I promise. I know how to navigate them all, and I'll give you the inside track. Must know number 3 is that yes, summers get crowded, but it's seasonal and it's predictable, and it's genuinely a small price to pay for the other 10 months of quiet, walkable, easy coastal living. You're not trading peace for chaos. You're just renting it out 10 weeks of the year to the tourists. And I love the tourists. Okay, I was a tourist. It's how I got here. If I hadn't been a tourist here, I might never have discovered this unbelievable heaven. So we've covered the weather. We've covered the honest truth about traffic. Okay, but here's where it gets really important, because the next 2 things I'm about to cover are the ones that actually make or break whether Bethany Beach fits your budget and your lifestyle long term. I'm talking taxes, insurance, HOA costs, and honestly figuring out which version of Bethany Beach living is actually right for you. Because it's not one size fits all. It absolutely is not. If any of this is hitting home and you're seriously considering Coastal Delaware, go grab my free Coastal Delaware relocation guide. The link is right below this video, and it walks you through all of this in more detail, so you can start planning with real numbers instead of guesswork and salty ocean vibes. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I think we're on to 4. We're on to must know number 4, taxes, insurance, and the costs that really catches people off guard. This is where I get those, oh my gosh, you can't be telling me the truth. Delaware is only one of 5 states in the entire country with 0% sales tax. None, 0. Every time you furnish that new home, no tax. And if you're 60 or better with a pension or retirement income, there are exclusions that can genuinely help your bottom line. Not just a little, but in a way you'll actually notice. Property taxes down here in Sussex County are also incredibly low compared to what most of my relocating clients are used to, especially coming from Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, DC. We are talking effective rates under 0.5% in many cases, some of the lowest on the entire East Coast. People genuinely ask me to repeat the number twice because they think I misspoke. Debbie, that can't be true. That's a month. I say, no, that's the entire tax liability for the year. Here's where I have to be the honest realtor and not the hype machine. If you're looking at homes closer to the water, especially anything in a flood zone, we do have some flood zones, flood insurance is a real cost you'll need to budget for, not an afterthought, not a we'll figure it out later. And it varies significantly based on elevation and flood zone designation. So this is not a one size fits all. And I always tell buyers to get an actual flood zone determination and insurance quote before falling in love with a house, not after. And if you're eyeing a community with amenities, pools, clubhouses, golf, pickleball, those HOA fees can range quite a bit, and they do add up. That's part of your carrying costs. I tell my buyers constantly, do the full math before you fall in love with the lifestyle, not after you've already picked out where the couch goes. Must know number 4 is simply this: Delaware's tax advantages are real and they are significant, but insurance and HOA costs closer to the water need their own line item in your budget. Don't let one great number distract you from checking the other ones. That's how buyer's remorse happens. I've seen it. I don't want you to experience it. Okay, I'm on to must know number 5. Which version of Bethany Beach living is actually you? Here's the last piece, and honestly, it might be the most important one on this whole list. Bethany Beach is not one lifestyle, it is several, all wrapped into one zip code, 19930, and the towns around it like a coastal sampler platter. Some of my clients want to walk to the boardwalk every single morning, coffee in hand, and for them, being in town, even paying that premium, is worth every dollar. No debate, no regrets. Others want the resort feel, a golf course, a clubhouse, a pool, without needing to be right on the sand. And they find that a few miles inland in Sussex County's newer amenity communities are just a better fit. Then there's a whole group of buyers, and honestly, this describes a lot of the retirees and empty nesters I work with, who want value first, a great home, low carrying costs, short drive or bike ride to the beach when they actually want it, rather than every single day. So I promise you, once you sit down and actually map out your day-to-day, walking versus driving, quiet versus lively, oceanfront versus inland value, the right answer usually becomes pretty clear pretty fast. There is no wrong choice here. There's only the choice that fits your budget, your stage of life, and how you genuinely want to spend your Tuesday afternoons, not somebody else's Instagram feed. Yours. You matter. So here we are. Let's bring it all together. Okay, Bethany Beach in 2026 is not just a summer town, and it won't be into perpetuity. It's a full-time coastal community with real range in price, genuinely enjoyable weather almost year-round, a predictable summer rush that's easy to plan around, and once you know the rhythm and the meaningful tax advantages balanced against real insurance and HOA costs you need to budget for, and multiple lifestyles under one roof, whether that's walkable, resort style, or value-driven. Absolutely. None of that is fear-mongering, and none of it is a sales pitch either. It's just what living here actually looks like. The good and the honest. Trade-offs together, no filter. It's what you always get from Debbie. No filter. Okay? So it's just so important to understand. If you are seriously considering Coastal Delaware, whether that's retiring here, buying a second home, making this your full-time base, an investment, I would love to help you figure out which version of this lifestyle fits you best. Grab that free Coastal Delaware relocation guide. You know where the link is. And if you want to talk it through, my contact info is also right there. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation. Coffee, optional, but recommended. So, you know who I am. I live here, I work here, and I genuinely love helping people find their soft landing in Sussex County. So if you want to live, play, work, and thrive, you know how to, reach out to me. Hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. And before you start house hunting, watch this video next to learn what's really happening with Coastal Delaware home prices, where buyers have negotiating power and how to make the most of today's market. Until next time, it's Debbie. Live, love, beach to bay.